Tiga. Yo, bagus, bagus. Enggak. Lepas.
All right, hello, and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel, and Logan Paul is running for president of the United States. Being an Englishman, I can't vote for him, but Logan, brother, if I could, I would. Says he's got to wait till 2032 because of his age. But yeah. Meanwhile, Q1 2021, QE won't cause inflation, says the Fed. Q2, some inflation, but it's transitory. Okay, high inflation, but we are peaking. Okay, inflation, maybe not transitory, but job market wage growth very strong. Need to hike aggressively to curb inflation, but no worries, economy very strong and soft landing is possible. Negative growth in Q1, but no recession risk. Okay, recession coming, but you will not lose your home. Okay, you may lose your home, but you won't starve to death. And this is why I'm so confident that we'll get a pivot this year. These people, they know what they're doing, and everything they say is a lie, and at the moment they're saying they're trying to stem inflation. So if someone consistently lies, why suddenly start believing them when they tell you that they're going to try to stem inflation? They're not going to try to stem inflation, and they are going to pivot soon, but that's a conversation for another day. Today, breaking news. Luxury brand Balenciaga are going to accept Bitcoin payments in stores. So if you're into spending money on luxury goods, you can do that. The WEF is so scared of Bitcoin that they are going to study the adoption in El Salvador, says Dennis Porter. Anyone or anything that threatens the power that these three-letter organizations hold, threatens to relinquish control, release control from these three-letter organizations, is going to upset said organizations. But the take-home message is Bitcoin is working, and it's working because it is freedom. I had to include this chart because I've never seen anyone chart the number of news articles mentioned in a bear market before. Quite an interesting metric, really, because we know that at lows, news outlets like to pump massive amounts of fear articles out to scare and to shake out retail. So you can see the correlation here. Right at the bottom, we had maximum articles of bear market, and we've got quite a large relative spike below the spike from March, but still a large relative spike. So is this the bottom? Or at least is a bounce incoming? I think it might be. Grayscale is blanketing Washington DC train stations with ads supporting its spot Bitcoin ETF. Says approval is a matter of time. So it could be. I thought I would show this and use this as an opportunity to say, if you see QR codes about and you're a Bitcoin holder or a crypto holder, don't necessarily just rush in to scan the QR code, because I have heard of people installing malicious QR codes that steal your crypto. So if it's ones you think you can trust, it's not really a problem. But if you think that anyone could have stuck a false QR code over the top, then always be aware of that. Don't go scanning QR codes willy-nilly. I saw this. HSBC suspends senior banker for dismissing a nut job climate change.
Fuck all. If it were really true, the banks wouldn't invest. The banks wouldn't finance. Not one condominium.
Of all time. Moving on. Fed report, 12% of US adults have held or used crypto in the last year. So that's growth. And at the same time, eBay is looking to cash in and offer sports-inspired NFTs. So that is what it is. Anyway, there's big news on the charts. Big news on the charts, potentially. The dollar. Is the dollar breaking down? We have a lower low. Could be a cycle low that's going to bounce and resolve to an upside. Oh, is it going to double top? Is it going to lower high? Or is it just done? Is it going to retest this blue line as... Is it going to flip it from support into resistance, violate this parabola and go? We know it's going to violate this parabola eventually, but is it going to go? Is it getting ready to go ASAP? Potentially enormous catalyst for a big bounce across all assets coming. At the same time, the US 10-year has broken down, retested and resumed, and is now entering what looks to be a downtrend. Has the 10-year government bond topped at the same time that the Dixie is breaking down? This could be enormous. If you've been following the trade portion of this channel, you'll know that I took quite a painful stop out here. I got wicked out, stopped on this wick. But I didn't re-enter on a Friday because if you've been following this channel for a while, you already know this. I don't like to take on weekend risk. So I've waited until Monday. I've added this blue trend line, and this is going to be my new entry. So it might look something like this, aiming up here, knowing that this is the first line of potential overhead resistance. So I'm getting ready to re-enter this long. Sometimes you just have to deal with the fact you're going to get stopped out and still be right about the direction. So this doesn't yet look like it's going to roll over and make new lows, may or may not. Not trying to guess. I will wait for my trend line break, knowing that we're going to have some problem when we get here. But I think the path of least resistance is to the upside. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Gold is in the process of recovering this big wedge that I wanted it to, so that's good. You'll also know I've got a silver position at full exposure, so it's not showing like big boy strength. It's not showing, you know, this big run just yet, but it is making a higher high every day so far. So providing this doesn't immediately roll over, hopefully this can resolve itself up towards this target. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to see how I deal with these markets in real time and how I continue to deal with them as a swing trader. This is how I make my living after all. Taking a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it wants to do one of these sideways fractals. So who knows really. As I said before with Bitcoin, maybe it chops around, maybe it breaks down, but I'm not interested in any trading positions for Bitcoin until we can break this big blue trend line. So we'll see about that. I think it's likely due a bounce, and certainly if the dollar is truly breaking down now, then you would expect Bitcoin to do very well, as it historically does. If you found value here today, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and until next time, take care. I'm your boy Camel. All the best. Goodbye.
2, 3. Yo, bagus. Enggak. Lepas. Kapan shot baru?